Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Rangers of the North. This is a One Ring actual play. We are using the One Ring system by Free League Publishing, and we're super excited to be your costumed cast for this evening. We started our story last week. This is a little 2-hour stream, a little bit different than some other stuff that we do here at Girls Run These Worlds, but we are excited that you're with us, and we have quite a story to tell this evening. So I want to get into it, and I want to introduce, I'll have my players introduce themselves. We'll throw some links in the chat. Please feel free to click those links and then follow those people in different places. Maybe not the hell site that is going down, thank God. So, but in other places, you know. All right, I will start. I'll have Katie go first.
Okay, hi. I'm Katie. My pronouns are they, she. Sorry, I zoned out while you were talking. Am I supposed to say where you can find me, or do I just say my name?
I mean, and maybe who you're playing.
I'm playing Gilly, full name Gilthoniel, a quite spooky elf.
So fantastic. And Gilly's friend is played by Jazz.
What up? I'm Jazz. I use she, they pronouns, and I play Harrow Wren, also known as Wren or Harrow, whichever feels right. You know, I don't think anybody's actually called her Harrow.
Depends
yet.
on if you're in trouble, and you haven't been in trouble yet. So.
Thank God. And Wren uses she, her pronouns. I'm also an elf. Yeah.
Fantastic. And not elves. We also have 2 humans. JJ, why don't you introduce us to Kiana?
Hello, everyone. I'm JJ. Hi. Full barbarian, Kiana, who loves sticky buns and weightlifting, and definitely has Weight Bro podcast for sure.
It's absolutely canon that is a thing that exists here. And our other human is played by Ark.
Hi, I'm Ark, Arcanian Ending. Everywhere you can find me, I am playing Penerian, Pen for short, who is our noble human from Gondor, our resident tank, and I had a pretty dark episode last time, so excited to explore that today.
Yes, starting with a shadow scar. And the episode was dark, but not like the backstory of our final character here. Guzdax is played by Anita.
Hey, that's me. Yep, Anita here. You already heard I'm playing Guzdax. Guzdax uses they, she pronouns. And yeah, I'm excited to get into it. Back to you, Sarah.
Hey, thanks for wrapping that back up. My name is Sarah. I am the lore mistress here, and I'm excited to give a whole lot more of this story to the players, because last week was a lot of like getting into the system and getting into the lore, and I'm excited to see what the players get to do a little bit more tonight. So Ark, show our beautiful animated credits. For our fellowship, a coronation looms. Normally a joyous occasion, not so for this particular group. It is instead a portent of a dark future that our fellowship seems to be determined to stop, but which path will take them there the quickest is where we left off last week. They can endanger one of their own by returning to a creator who they did not ask to be from. Or they could choose a more treacherous path through the Mirkwood forest to find the oracle of Kiana's people, the heart of the forest. Our company needs to make its way to Mirkwood, and quickly. So as we open in the morning that all of this has come to light, we are in Bree. It is muddy and dirty, and rain pours outside, and boots that tromp into this tavern quickly fill the front entrance with slippery slop. Fellowship, how are you getting on the road, and how do you plan to travel?
Do any of us have horses?
I'm going to be brutally honest with you. I am from a forest. We don't really do horses.
Yeah, ghost dogs don't got horse money.
Horses in the forest. I feel like, why?
No, are you serious? No, it's the woods. It's a wild woods.
I feel like we had horses. Yeah. Must have hallucinated
Maybe
that.
you had horses.
I don't know. How did we get around?
We
Damn, y'all
walked.
Oh,
We
okay,
were
then,
going to Vine like
let's
Tarzan.
walk.
We be walking.
How
Yeah,
far is it?
Certainly.
Do we know how far it is?
it's pretty far.
But I mean, like for a human, or like far for anyone, or
I'll carry like 2 of y'all.
I'll be carried.
If y'all want, I will carry y'all. But
Tiny.
It seems like time is of the essence on this
Right.
particular mission.
Does
I
any-
would love horses. I
But-
do not have horse money.
well, that was the next question: does anyone have any money? You're wearing a crown.
That's me.
I have to say, if anyone's gonna have money, it's probably the one with the crown.
Yeah, I think we've done also some jobs together where we would have earned a bit of coin in the last
Sure.
few weeks. But
It's-
yeah, I think
Logical
Is that
sense,
true,
yes.
Lord Mistress?
Tell us how much money we have.
Yeah, I will say that you can all chip in some if you wish. You all have enough, a fair little bit, but Penn certainly would have the funds to cover the rest. And I think Penn would find this an urgent enough situation to shell that out.
Yeah, I
of
mean,
course.
it is for
you're
your
helping
family.
my family.
Yeah.
would it be cheaper for us to get like a horse and a carriage, like a couple horses and a carriage, or would it be like easier
A
for us to like all
carriage?
get? Well, like you know,
Oh, like a wagon.
Like a
Because
wagon.
we're in Bree. I don't think they have carriages.
Yeah. a wagon.
Would they
I
have
know
a
the
wagon
word.
big enough?
They have pumpkins.
A wagon would probably be cheaper but slower than if we just like each of
Right.
us were able to.
Not a horse.
Okay, so let's do that. Are you
That's
all
fine.
right
And-
with that?
And
Yes,
also,
fine.
I'm curious. So in this system that we're using, there is roles that are there. There are very specific rules as far as how journey happens. That it is its own phase, and so there are roles that everybody will take on. There is a guide, a hunter, a lookout, and a scout. Who do we think would be a guide? Everybody has to have at least one role. Every role has to be covered. So everybody has to have at least one role. Some of you have skills and feats that will allow you to take on more than one role without a penalty. But I'm curious who the guide is in charge of decisions concerning route, rest, and supplies. The hunter would be in charge of finding food in the wild. Doesn't necessarily have to be like hunter, gatherer, also just food finder, fisher. Lookout is in charge of keeping watch, and a scout is in charge of setting up camp and kind of opening new trails.
Oh boy.
Does anyone have any skills in those categories? Is there one for like fun, quirky friend.
I think
Ghost
I might
Docs?
be good at lookout or possibly scout.
Gustox would have skills as a guide and technically a hunter. If y'all like mushrooms,
Mushrooms are good.
Is this a place that you've been before, Pen?
Mirkwood Forest, no, not at
Oh,
all. Some of the
Gustox grew
roads
up
I've
in the
traveled.
Mirkwood.
Oh right,
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
okay.
Yeah, so
Seems
you're
like-
obviously our guide.
You
yes.
be our-
And
Yes,
it seems
100%.
like Kiana also
Yes.
grew up
Yeah.
in the Mirkwood too.
Oh, okay. So whoever has the highest perception, I guess, should probably be the guide. I don't know. No, let's look out. Would this be like travel then? I guess. Does anyone have a really good travel
Yeah, what's
score?
So a guide is a travel check. Yeah, that is fantastic point. Let me tell you what those ability checks are. A guide is a travel check. A scout is explore. A lookout is perception, and a hunter is unsurprisingly hunting.
So
Oh.
I would take hunter. So that's
Okay.
what I have proficiency in.
Is travel something you're good at, Gustak?
Yeah, Gustox could probably do anything on that list. To be
Dang.
honest.
All right.
but,
Weird flex, but okay.
I-
Is
I was
your
raised by trees, y'all. I
those,
I know how to
those
I
are
know
all
how
really
to
good,
live on the land.
but nothing else is good. Just those things.
I can do which one was perception again?
Lookout.
Yeah, I could probably do lookout. That seems to be the best one suited for me.
Yeah. I think if everyone has to have a role, but then can be more than one person on each role. Is that how we're doing it? Then I guess like the best one for me would be also lookout.
Yeah, so every role has to be covered.
Okay.
Some of you have, as part of your class, like part of your calling, that you can be multiple roles without a penalty. If you don't have that as part of your feature, then you take a -5 to your roll when you, well, it's a +5 to the DC. There's a penalty to trying to do too many things. So maybe everybody stick to what they're good at. So can I just confirm, who is the guide? Who is looking at the perception? That's going to be Guzdax. Okay, fantastic. And what about hunter? That's Kiana. Hunter. Lookout, which is perception.
I think I'll also do that.
Fantastic.
If the other one is not terrible for you, Pen.
Yeah.
I am equally bad at all of them. So
okay. then maybe you should go with Ren, because I can do the other one. Because
how's your explore, Katie?
Mine's 3, so it's not bad. So I could do that. I'll figure it out. I have other things that like make me good at things. I think I think I'd be okay.
Scout is in charge of like setting up camp. Yeah. I think that that's definitely.
I've traveled. I've been places before. We don't always have beds. I know how to make a hammock.
Yeah. Okay. So let me also say, the reason why I was bringing that up is because I want to go back to the decision of, should you get like a buckboard wagon and horse, or should everybody have horses? Definitely Guzdax and Kiana would know that to get to where you're going, you're going to pass a huge swath of overland, just like flat open terrain. And then you're also going to get into forest and then a mountain pass in order to get over the mountains into the Mirkwood. So having a wagon might not be as conspicuous through some of those areas. Certainly is not going to be the quickest in terms of if you're trying to get to something or get away from pursuers. It pluses and minuses.
Yeah, wagons also break a lot easier than horses. So
I knew that on a shirt.
Yeah, as as the guide, Gustox is going to veto the wagon.
Damn.
Do you know?
So does
Ren,
I know how to
You know-
ride a horse.
you
I know how
said-
to.
you said
I
there's no
do.
horses.
yeah,
I listen. It's fine. I
Okay.
know animals. I can ride a horse.
Okay.
No problem.
yeah
Insight
Gustox-
check. No. Just
No
kidding.
problem. I said.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
ahead,
Gustox has also definitely only ridden a horse one time, and it wasn't great.
Well, this is gonna go
Um,
interestingly. Oh,
So
boy.
it's the
Magic.
fastest way from A to B. However,
It'll be terrible at first, and then we'll all get used to it, and then it'll be fine. And then your butt will get numb, and you won't feel a thing.
Is that a good thing?
When you're riding a horse for
Um,
like 2 weeks, yes, it is.
let's go find a horse seller then.
Yeah.
I will say, in the interest of this being a 2-hour session, not shopping. We only have 5 episodes. I don't have time for a shopping episode totally.
Darn.
That's okay,
Pin-
bestie.
Absolutely is able to help you all find some horses, get a fairly decent deal on it, and whatever other provisions you might need, you are able to gather in this very quick time between deciding that you need to get on the road and getting on the road can happen. Like, you guys can be on the road mid to late morning. Yeah. Hey, Raiders. Thanks. Aaron, my laundry. Fantastic name. I had to read it out loud to hear it. That's, you know what? You're in the right place because I have puns a coming, babes.
Oh boy.
And
Oh.
and
dear.
so
I
our
forgot all
fellowship-
about my pun inspiration that I got last week.
Listen,
Let me
it's
mark
really-
that
it's
down
still there.
somewhere.
You use it when you're ready.
Mhm.
Inspiration.
So our fellowship is able to get on the road. Is there anything in the village of Bree that anybody needs to purchase? We won't do a shopping episode, but I just want to give you the opportunity to acquire it for your inventory list.
Do we have like rations in our inventory already? And in like enough for where we're going?
I mean, I would say you don't necessarily always keep rations on you, but they're easy to acquire, and you have done some work together before, mostly
Right.
kind of closer to town. This is a good few days of travel. It's kind of like 7 to 10 days there, depending on how things go. And it's just one step, right? You're all headed to the Mirkwood in order to find out where the potential location is of this threat that is coming after Penn's family and lineage.
Mm.
So it is just one piece of that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So-
Will our hunter be able to like
Get
scrounge up
Oh yeah,
food
there's
for
mini
us on
games.
the road?
This is full Oregon Trail
Okay.
mini game.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Um,
boy.
Before
Like,
we go,
Kiana, how
Someone mentioned
confident do you
dysentery
feel
earlier.
about like finding food on the road?
Oh, very
Are-
confident. If I can,
Oh,
I was
period.
gonna ask if I could, because I have proficiency in a bow and arrow. So would that mean that can I acquire a bow and arrow, or do I need to switch out my great axe for a bow and arrow? Because I would do either one.
I would say you probably if you have proficiency, it means that you've had a lot of practice. So
Yeah.
whether or not you came to Bree with one, they're easy to buy, like they're easy to get. So you could easily
probably
get
help you with
one,
that,
and
too.
you maybe had practice with one before you left your group,
Yeah.
your people.
My peoples.
But yeah, if you want, you don't have to get rid of your great axe. You can't
Okay.
be, shooting arrows while also coming around with, like, you
Right,
can't
right,
use them
no.
both at the same time
Mhm.
Yeah.
in a battle. But
Okay,
yeah,
that's
you
what
can
I,
have
that's
a bow and arrow.
cool.
And
That's
if you
all just
believe in
what I want to know.
yourself.
Be like, I can
True. Might be
swing
failure
the
of my
axe, just like
imagination.
and
chuck
roll
it.
really high.
I can chuck the axe
Classic
at somebody, and then at the
Mhm.
same, bam.
I was gonna say
Just
too. I'm quite skilled, with a bow and arrow. So if
Yeah.
you
I mean, me too. We're elves.
We're elves.
But our bows are probably quite like delicate compared to the ones
Yeah.
that she would be using.
Yeah,
I think before we go, the most important thing to Gilly to get would be that good long bottom leaf, because they've got the good shit here in Bree. So definitely
They
need some of that.
do. There is a little hobbit that comes to town occasionally. He seems rather sweet on a character that we have referred to, but we haven't totally introduced yet. Grandma Nellie was one of the characters from the first season of Rangers of the North. And we love you, Lulu. She's just in Pacific time zone, and it doesn't quite work for her schedule to join us. But Grandma Nellie had a man acquaintance, a man friend at the end of season 1, and Boris Bracegirdle comes to visit, and being a hobbit from the Northern Shire, when he finds out that you have a particular taste, not only brings you, the kind of stuff that they sell to the normies in town, to the townies, he brings you some bespoke hobbit.
The good kush, yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
I feel like that's like, I mean, anytime that Gilly's not like needed by the party, she's just like just completely blazing out in like the shed with these hobbits, like hotboxing the stables, like.
I mean, hopefully it didn't happen this morning before you have to take these horses out, but look,
I'm proficient in pipe. The horses are fine. Let's go.
Fantastic. Love. You're proficient
in pipe.
I'm a bard.
I need that on a shirt.
I'm proficient in pipe.
Listen, if we don't get the chance to roll to raid Art Heart Studios with their Weed D&D game after this, like, it is an opportunity.
Oh, that's amazing.
Friends. Shout out to Art Hard Studios. Okay. Yes, you are definitely able. Grandma Nellie's man friend, hobbit friend, provides you with some quality things. And also Grandma Nellie, in her nervous but gentle, affirming way, provides you, sneaks a nice basket of things, not into Kiana's pack, because Kiana will eat it all immediately. She makes little goodie bags for everybody. Kiana's is bigger. It's a little bit bigger of a bundle than everybody else's. But Guzdak's Grandma Nellie also has made sure that yours is like fresh, and it's not totally vegan, but there's no meat in the savory pies. It's all vegetarian at least.
Oh wow, that's really kind. Yeah. A little emotional at that.
I would say
Grandma Nellie is probably the only thing that Guzdax is going to miss about Bree. Well, Grandma Nellie and the pigs. Yeah, the pigs are weird. Like, Guzdax has seen pigs before, but she's seen wild pigs, and they're usually terrifying and dangerous. But these guys are just chill. They hang out. They're one with the earth. Guzdax really likes these pigs. So it's probably just gonna stop by the pig pen and just chill around them for a while before heading to the stables.
I love that. And if you could speak to pigs, they would speak back in a French accent, because that's the only accent that I can do. But you can't, so we're all spared from that harrowing experience.
Harrowing? Sorry.
That too, because singing might happen later. For me, the company is able to get on the road. A goodbye to the pigs, an extra maybe trip to Grandma Nellie's, because Kiana has eaten all of the sticky buns before they even left town and needed to go back for a refresher, I feel like. JJ, do we feel like that's a real thing?
Oh, facts. That was the first thing. As soon as you said that I got a pack of my own, I was like, nah, that's all gone. That's we're not even.
That was just morning. That was just breakfast. Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. And it is the near constant rainfall that makes Bree so muddy also makes the surrounding area so green and fertile. The Shire and the bordering kind of human lands here in Eriador are gorgeous. Maybe not the town of Bree so much, but the villages and the pastoral sweeping hills definitely are. And you see several more, Guzdax, you see several more pig pens, cows, sheep, livestock, some chickens, all as you're making your way on the Great East Road towards kind of Weathertop is where we're orienting ourselves. As you're making your way east, and this very fertile land is, you know, it's human controlled land, so they're more or less safe. There doesn't seem to be, you know, any treachery on the roads. Certainly there are the occasional bandits, but really it's kind of more the smells of the livestock, of the little farms that dot the land, that would be the most offensive things of this part. You do encounter several small groups of merchants along the way, or, you know, solo farmers who are kind of bringing their wares into Bree or some of the other small towns along the way. And you make your way. It takes a day or so to on horseback, to maybe closer to a day and a half. The second night, you get very close to Weathertop. You see the looming mountain and ruins above you. The roads then give way to the scrubby brushland of the Great East Road between Weathertop and Lastbridge. You find a cool air whipping past you in the evenings. Definitely the fur skins that Kiana has come in handy. The fire around your camp in the evening is useful. But you've also entered lands that are more wild by nature. Having a lookout becomes critical because this is where marauders can attack. So, first roll of the night, let's have a perception check from our lookout.
Oh boy. No pressure.
Lookout, right? Because
oh, I'm sorry, lookouts.
Lookouts. You're right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when there is, in this system, when there is two people who do the job, one person can give advantage to the other, or they can both roll.
How's your perception?
I will take the advantage for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Thank you.
Look, I sound great, but my wisdom's very low.
It's all good. I got you.
This is another
You're not
Batman
gonna believe
move.
this.
What?
I rolled a crit.
You rolled a
Ah.
20.
I rolled a 20. So it's 24 total.
So one of the things that is unique to this system is that it has a table already laid out for like what different roles can mean. And this is the journey events table that I'm referencing. A 20 is what's called a joyful sight. This, if the check succeeds with this, everyone in the company gains inspiration. So everybody can have an inspiration.
Wow.
Excellent job.
You get an inspiration.
Can I ask?
Ren-
Can I ask what an inspiration means in this game? Is it the same, just like a
It is the
reroll?
same. This is D&D 5e rules,
Yeah.
so inspiration means the same.
Fabulous.
And does
so
this stack on top of the inspiration that I already got, or just one at a time?
I think that there is, when I give an inspiration as a DM, that sits there until you use it. But use it, because then I can give you more. This is inspiration from a player action, and that's a separate inspiration. They're called the same thing, but they are set. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I feel makes sense. Okay. Ren, you have seen a joyous sight this evening.
I have.
You are on lookout. The kind of quiet murmurings of the camp going on. What is this joyous sight that Ren is so inspired by, that her entire mood is enlightened to the point where the others start to get that contagious joy?
Growing up in the wild woods, which is a tangle of forest that doesn't often show the sky unless you climb trees to see it. I miss out a lot on some cool sights. One of them is a meteor shower, and I think that falling stars are just so cool. And it might be maybe the second or third time I've ever actually seen it in my life. My rather short for an elf life, because I am a child. Well, I'm not a child. I'm a I'm
You're a-
young.
You're a child.
I might be a child. It's okay. None of you can tell except for Gilly. Gilly can tell.
She's a child.
Shut up. Anyway, so I see. I'm taking my job very seriously because I like having something that I can provide for the company. And as I do, I look up and I see the first falling star, and I go, "Oh my goodness! Oh, it's the starfall! It's the starfall! Look, everyone, look!" And we all just kind of sit there and gaze at the meteor shower.
Yeah, I think Gilly would like, as we're sort of sitting there, Gilly would start singing a song that is it's basically like the song that is about praising Gilthoniel, Elbereth Gilthoniel, which is like the light of the Western seas, like the like star that we worship, and also kind of a goddess. Maybe it's complicated, but there's like a whole song about that, and so I think that it would feel to Gilly, who's named after her, that's a sign, and a message that things are on the right path, that we chose the right direction, and that we're being watched over by Gilthoniel. I probably could have said that in character, but here we are.
All right. So everybody gains inspiration from this wondrous, joyous sight, and there is a story to tell. If any of you wish to go in, I shared a link to the journey page. You can put in that these things happen, and then at the end of the campaign, you have like a little book of all of the events that happen, which is a very sweet feature. I think very true to the lore and like the story that we pay homage to. So the evening rolls by, and I would say maybe some extra leaf is pulled out and shared among this site. Typically, falling fire, maybe Guzdak's not the brightest thing, but also the others seem so enraptured by this.
Yeah,
It's very bright. What are
like
you talking about?
Gustox is very young. I'm not sure that Gustox has ever seen like falling stars before. It's super cool. Like they're gonna take off their mask and just like look up in awe. It's a nice moment.
It is a nice, much needed moment from the heaviness that has pervaded the last couple of days and the growing concern that happens. Yeah, it is. It's a beautiful moment. The next day, maybe a day or two further into the journey, it is with great relief for some of you that you begin to leave the flat, open expanse for the more relative discreet travel that occurs when you're in the forests. These forests lead to one of the great elf kingdoms of Rivendell. So there are patrols and scouts, and you are a unique adventuring party. The mountains beyond Rivendell. So not only are you going to get through this forest area, you must also get past the mountains just beyond Rivendell. It has also been now several days since you've had fresh food. It's been really rations. The berries, Guzdaks, have all been smushed into the pouch that you carry. They're, a little bit drippy, not good, not
Jam.
style.
Damn.
Travel smushed. And something fresh would not necessarily go amiss. I wonder, how do you all feel about entering this forest area, the Kingdom of Rivendell, and what might our hunter be doing?
I feel so comfortable. Um, this is in my zone. So I would just be, I'm just chilling. We living our best lives out here as far as Kiana's concerned. Um, I would probably go out and be like, all right, like it's time to go gather, time to go hunt. So I would try to go find for good stacks, I try to find like, some fresh berries, mushrooms, something like that that they would probably like. That's probably like more in line with their dietary needs. Um,
Yeah, I I think Guzdox would prompt discretion. Guzdox doesn't have a lot of experience with elves, but like knows they can be a little touchy about their territory.
Well, I was gonna ask too, like as you know, the people that Ren and I are, like, would we know what the protocol would be, and like could we assist
Yeah.
just by
that
being like,
also-
yo, don't kill the deer, they will kill you.
Yeah.
Yes, certainly you two would both know that protocol would be you go and introduce yourself at the house of the Lord of Rivendell.
So maybe we do that
Um,
first.
and and be extended the hospitality of the elves, which may be great for 4 of you, but there is another member of your party who there would be lots of explaining and potentially it not ever be okay that this is a person who travels with you.
Well, that's not very nice.
Do you
They've
wanna
got a
watch the
mask.
first one?
They'll be fine. Elves are stupid, right? Just kidding. We're very smart. Okay.
I'm not.
Well, you're a child.
Listen!
You are a child.
Okay, well, perhaps then the lookouts could just keep a lookout for you to make sure that you're not being, watched by a bunch of elves that are going to get real mad.
I do think that how about this? We just wear hoods and change our names, and maybe they won't ask questions.
They'll definitely ask questions, and you know that.
Okay, maybe we could answer the questions,
Yeah.
but falsely.
How about if just one of us goes and talks to them and say, we'd love to stay, but we can't. We have a mission to do.
Brilliant.
Do
Kiana
you mind if we eat your deer?
Kiana saw y'all talking.
Oh, she's gone.
And all she heard was we have to go introduce ourselves. So she dipped like a while ago, to go meet these people.
Sure. Why don't I just go try to see if I can track down one? There's going to be somebody here.
There will be roving patrols.
That's what I'm saying. So I'll just let them know we're here.
Yeah, I would say Penn has thoughts. Penn,
Penn's not interested.
Go ahead.
Kiana knows how to be discreet. We've known each other for some time, and to explain what we're searching for, I'm sure the elves would take too much interest in that.
Well,
I'd rather let Kiana be discreet and be on our way.
Okay. I was just going to say we're on our way somewhere to visit your family or something.
Do you know elves to take short answers?
I
don't. I've traveled with you. I feel like you don't.
Sure, it's not the word I would.
All right, well, then let's just all keep our eyes out and make sure we don't get shot and they show up right when we're not paying attention, because we're very loud and we're in their forest and they know it better than us, and so we can be sneaky if we want to.
Whatever we are doing, we should probably do it quickly. Kiana,
she's already gone.
Has been gone.
I'm gonna pull up a hood and be as discreet as possible.
I definitely
actually, I might just disappear. Honestly,
look, I'm in
can
full
I just
armor.
roll a stealth
There's no...
check? Yeah, can I just what? I'm gone.
I mean, you certainly can. I will say that Ren, being from a noble house, although the others other than Gilly don't know, you would know that Rivendell is a great elven kingdom, and also that the Lord of Rivendell is a ring bearer. Like that is common knowledge because the rings protected, like the elves were dying at the point where the rings were crafted. So you know, definitely the both of you would know like who the 3 ring bearers are, which forests are theirs, which kingdoms are theirs, and also that the rings grant them a certain amount of like supernatural power over. I'm not saying they're lie detectors, but
That's right.
those rings were crafted with some malice. They weren't crafted with goodwill. So knowing, I think that you all chose not specifically not to go to the elves to get information about the Hope Leecher. Maybe trying to avoid them is the best bet.
Okay, DM says no. DM says no. Let's move on.
And I would have been like, wait,
Let's
we
go.
can bypass. No, you guys want food? Okay.
Let's go.
Bypassing sounds good to me.
If we all want to ruin Hugo Weaving's legacy with me doing a French accent, we can do that. But
wait, why would you do a French accent?
That's the accent.
Only accent she knows.
That's the only one she knows.
Oh, okay.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
I love it. Let's
like
go.
No, it's fine.
I think
yeah, it was more like if there was a guard coming around, gonna be like, "Who are you guys in the forest?" Then I would be like, "Oh,
we're not necessarily in the forest yet."
I see.
Is what I'm gathering.
Are we not?
Well,
Yeah.
because we were debating whether we were going to chance this
Got
or
it,
not.
got
And
it.
I'm going to say,
You know what?
I'd rather not.
I'm gonna go sit on a rock and smoke some weed. I'll be over here. Some pipe weed.
Yeah. Before Kiana can reach the edge of the forest, Gutstocks will like gallop up and be like, "Hey, is there any way you can do some hunting like in the field part outside of the forest? The gang's not feeling talking to elves right now."
Kiana can hunt anywhere. I got you.
Awesome. There are probably some rabbits in those tall grasses. Yeah,
definitely.
It'll be fine.
This forest is rife with berries and fruits everywhere, Kiana, that you look, you see like the clues of a well-protected, vibrant ecosystem. Why don't you give me a hunting check just to kind of see how this goes? We'll let the dice also play the game.
Alrighty.
We're inclusive in this. We let everyone play.
What could go wrong?
Okay.
You got a 20.
What could go wrong?
What else could happen?
That is a 19.
Pretty damn good.
Close enough.
An 18 and a 19 in our journey events table is a chance meeting.
Uh-oh.
A good one, though? It's a 19.
We'll see.
I could not have scripted this better because it goes along with what I was kind of hoping to describe here anyway. But Kiana, as you are looking at the signs and hearing the sounds, you do hear a quiet area, too quiet, no sounds. And immediately you're like, sounds like a place for me. Right? Is that not Kiana? I feel like I understand Kiana's motivations very well at this point.
Yeah. I'll be like, what's going on over there?
Yeah. Oh, that's quiet. That's different. I'm going straight there. Definitely. And Kiana, as you walk up, you definitely can be quite silent when you want to. For somebody who has a lot of bulk and can yeet wolves, should you choose, you also have the ability to move quite undisturbed between locations if you want. You do come up very quiet. And you see what is a small camp that was recently maybe abandoned. It doesn't seem to be that there's anybody there in haste because The fire has just smoldered. You can see that there's like been some earth that has been dumped over it, but there's still a little bit of smoke coming up. The tracks here that you're looking at tell of a scuffle. And
Ooh.
you also notice a single arrow embedded in a tree trunk just above where there was like a single bedroll on the ground. There is a single arrow stuck in the tree trunk just above that. The arrow, for sure, you recognize because you're traveling with two other people who shoot the same type of arrows, different feathers, different make of wood, but the fine elven craftsmanship is, distinct. There is also drag marks. So the elven patrol seems to have dragged off whomever was here. And this is maybe not necessarily a chance meeting, but it is a chance that you're not going to have a meeting. Because now this elven patrol is busy taking their captor back to Rivendell, instead of being here to like fuck around and find out with wolf eating Kiana. Kiana, in this small camp, there is already a small pile of food that's been found. Convenient. Under the bedroll, you also find a small fine silver dagger, which you can now add
Ooh.
to your inventory.
Yes. I love daggers. At least I certainly did in season 1. Okay, perfect. I will go back. Well, I'll grab the food and stuff, and then I'll just let them know, like, elves, prisoner, we can go.
Okay.
Thank you for that detailed report.
Yes.
I think that means we should leave with haste.
I think it means
Yeah?
we should go. Okay, but not go after them. We just go. Let's just
Yes.
go. Okay.
Yeah, we're going.
And we do.
And you do.
And we go.
It will take maybe another day to get to the mountains. Are you going to force yourselves to go without rest? Are you going to carry on, try and pull an all-nighter and get to the mountains? Or are you going to set up camp in
How
the
close
woods
are
somewhere?
we? Oh boy.
You are still 4 to 5 days away from maybe 3-ish days because you're on horse of like forest and mountains, and then you drop over the mountains into the Mirkwood.
I meant how close are we to Rivendell territory? Deep in
You're
it.
in kind of the forest is the territory, but you're not. I think you guys carve quite a wide path around. You're definitely not like rocking up through the main entrance to like get past them, You're going to go and take some side paths. But let me actually get a travel check from the guide. Let's see how that path gets carved.
Saw you, baby.
Because these mountains, not only are you trying to get through the forest, you're also trying to get over the mountain. And at least this side of the mountain passes, they can be easily passable. They're well-carved routes, but that's only if you don't mind being spotted by an elven patrol. If you want to keep out of their sight, your scout is going to need to be cunning in not only the path, but the timing of the travel to get you all through without being seen. This is now turned into like Metal Gear Solid. You have to wait till their like camera boxes are turned to sneak through, Minigame.
Can we like use our skills to help each other in our roles here, or is it like the person who's doing each thing is in charge of doing their thing?
The person who's doing the thing is in charge of doing the thing, but tell me what you're thinking because now I'm curious.
Oh, well, I just like have a lot of like inspirational rhymes in my back pocket that I save for just quite these occasions, in case anyone's looking flabbergasted. And so I have one I could share with Guzdax if they felt they would like to hear some inspiring words.
vibes.
This character is not as good at talking as I thought they'd be. But maybe that's just me. Here we are.
No, yeah, I was looking at my woodcraft feature. And since we are like going through Rivendell's lands and we haven't like gone to introduce ourselves, if they find us, they're gonna be mad at us for sneaking around like a bunch of little thieves.
We haven't stolen anything.
Except for a dagger and
I
some
know,
food.
like a bunch of little thieves.
Listen, they weren't using it at the time.
I would like to use my woodcrafts feature from my scholar calling to choose a number of creatures equal to my check results minus the terrain DC. And yeah, I can spend an hour and a craft slot to make a nature check, explore check, or a hunting check. And if I roll high enough, everybody can be very stealthy. And I would like to do this on top of like the guiding, or like, you tell me how this works, Lord Mistress.
Can we say that Gilly just starts like being like to like say out this magic poem, and goes like just like and then makes us all really quiet, and then Gilly just goes and sits on a rock and smokes some weed by herself.
Oh,
Gilly, you certainly do understand. I don't know that Gilly takes it personally.
No.
Gilly is used to kind of being a little bit rebuffed by people not super in need of her special services in the moment. But I mean, Gilly, you're also, as a very specific rune is still in the palm of your hand.
Ah, it's still there.
Uh-oh.
That sucks.
You know, you're not normally bothered by it, but it would just be so nice if people saw what value you could bring, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh,
No!
All right. I could have sworn I put this down. That's wild.
It's funny how it keeps showing up in your hand.
Well, I didn't even know I could have sworn I had a pipe in my hand, but here it is. It's a goddamn rune.
I mean, you've got two hands.
I'm saving. 22.
Yeah. I mean, that is weird that it keeps showing up in your hand. Because for sure, you remember putting it back in the rune bag.
I'm going to like specifically, and like, you know, this happens to Gilly all the time, thinks she has her keys, but she's lost them. Gonna just put it right in her bag and just be like, I've done this.
And also it's weird that in a bag full of what, a dozen or so runes, this one keeps coming out into your, so anyway, who knows what the spirits,
like more than 20.
It might be worth kind of delving at some point soon.
I'll ponder while I pipe.
Ponder it for sure. But you know, I mean, yes, it would be nice if people respected you and valued what you brought. But I mean, you know, fair enough. Guzdox does know what she's doing, and we're gonna trust them to do their business.
Oh yeah,
it's fine. I'm sure.
I feel like that feeling of like, I wish people listened to me isn't really her. And either like, I think it's more like, oh, you got it, fantastic. So this sort of like pettiness that's showing up in her is like a new thing. So that's
for sure. Yeah. And does feel a little bit foreign to her. I would say she's aware, like with a wisdom save of 22, she's aware that it is a little bit, you know, she's maybe found some unconscious bias that she needs to unpack. You know, there's something maybe going on. Right. But you can talk to the spirits about that later.
I'm gonna do my work. I'm gonna come back to you.
Exactly. But Guzdox, I will say, because you were planning as part of your character to be able to use these features, I'll give you advantage on this roll. We'll allow the two to work together because you have a proficiency here. You're muted, but you seem okay.
Yeah, first one is Not good. Second one is a natural 1. So the big
Oh.
6 that I rolled with an additional, what did I need? A travel check
Yeah.
or an explore check?
Sorry,
it
this is this is a travel check.
You also have inspiration.
Oof, okay.
You also have inspiration. You do have inspiration.
I do.
You have 2 of them.
I have 2 inspiration. I will
Now might
go
be the
one
time.
more time. All right, let's get some double digits, baby. Look at that. That's a natural 19 on the die.
Nice.
Look
Love
at
that.
look at God.
Hot,
That
hot,
is a 27 total.
Dang.
My goodness.
You are all just about to break from the tree line. Guzdax, you've been watching. You've kind of been timing the patrols. You're all just about to make a break from the tree line when there is just some extra caution that rings in your mind. And just as your horse is about to like come out of this space, you see a group of 4 humans on horseback, fairly well dressed. Pen, you, as soon as you see them, you clock them. These are riders of Rohan that seem to have some kind of, they seem to be coming as some kind of delegation into Rivendell, and you just miss them. And you just are able to hold back in time. Kiana, you're looking at this silver dagger. And so you weren't necessarily super paying attention to the like signal to go, which is a good thing because you would have fucking bolted, right? And so it's a good thing that you were paying attention to this silver dagger, which is like, you know, those glow sticks that you buy from the dollar store? This thing glows blue. It is the coolest. It is like this very faint light coloring that it glows. Is very sweet. Extra bonus, you got the best toy.
Yes.
Yes. You are so it didn't, like when you first picked it up from the bedroll, it wasn't, but like now it is, so amazing.
Kiana's just like shiny.
Yeah, absolutely. And Guzdax, Pen, the rest of you watch as this delegation makes its way down into Rivendell. And you're not totally sure what their business would be. It is a little bit odd that kind of the more, I want to say, not that they're wild, but they're not as stuck in formality, the people of Rohan, certainly not the delegation or the leadership there. So it is a little bit unusual that they'd be here but I mean, Pen, look, sometimes, you know, there's weddings and family obligations and, you know, I'm sure it's something. But in any case, you, Guzdax, are able to time things just right. And you all make it through and over the mountain pass. It does take the better part of a day. And as soon as you drop down into the Mirkwood, which wasn't always called the Mirkwood, in fact, very recently only has started to be called the Mirkwood. Gilly and Rin, you know this as the Greenwood. Pen, certainly your knowledge of kind of the cartography of Middle Earth would be that you know it as the Greenwood. I think, Kiana, your people call it something very special. It has a very special word for that you all used for it. It's only recently that it is being called the Mirkwood, and that is because in recent months all manner of dark and fell creatures have come from various places all over Middle Earth. This isn't only happening here, but this is an area of concentration for them. For what purpose the Mirkwood seems to draw more of these creatures is yet to be determined, Maybe not the story of this fellowship, but there is something about it. And Guzdax, when you left this particular forest, like you're familiar with these lands, there is a distinct difference. It's, kind of like the place that you grew up, you leave for a few years, and when you go back, there's like a ton of new development and like 15 new strip malls. And you're like, the hell,
Right.
that used to be like a place that we would ride our bikes to after school. This place, while not like full of like Kohl's and Best Buy, for sure is not great. You can sense right away that things have changed here, and also that definitely all of the stuff that you have tried so hard to leave behind is part of the influence of what you're feeling here in this place.
God. Anita has the knowledge that like this super cool like magic item dagger is now kind of useless a little bit, just because Guzdax
Just
is
'cause you're
always
there.
around. Like,
Dang.
I think Guzdax also like Guzdax is young, like really young. Came out of the earth full grown, which like pros and cons. I think she knew. I think she like had like knowledge and like a feeling that okay, the Mirkwood is like it's kind of off when like she first came through. I think upon returning, like, and feeling, oh, this has gotten much worse. She's, I think she's like thinking about the Entwives that she left behind in order to like try and make a life of her own, and she's a little worried because this forest has bad vibes. She would probably like, she would probably like want to take like, at this point, Guzdax has never like gone to the mother Ent before, so she would need to like share like guiding responsibilities with Kiana. But she would want to like stop by her old haunts and like see if the Entwives are okay, cause she's getting worried. But yeah, would definitely like upon getting to the Mirkwood, look to Kiana and ask if she knows where her people went to this Ent Mother for answers.
I'm assuming that Kiana would know.
Yeah, I mean, in the story, I don't know that Kiana has ever made this journey yet.
Right.
But the stories and the things that you have heard, it just always refers to it as the heart of the heart of the forest, the heart of the forest. And I
Right.
think Kiana's not dumb, impulsive and rash, but not dumb. Like there is an understanding that like the heart is probably the middle or the source
The
of
center.
something.
Yeah. I would just be like heart, center.
Oh, that tracks. Guzdax always hanged out around the spleen of the forest, so like we get it. And Guzdax knows where to go now. And we'll try to make a detour like around the stomach way, maybe like go through the large intestine, see like what's happening with the homies.
All right.
But like mostly, no, I can't. Ghostox wants to do that, but like we're on a time crunch. 10's family's in danger.
I mean, can
We're
we
going
afford
straight to
a
the heart.
detour? Just like a little.
Um,
I'm only saying if you're worried, we should check.
It's fine. This is, if the Hope Leecher is really about to get its lair messed with, then we need to go as soon as possible. This is why we made the Fellowship, to fight the enemy where they lie. So,
Is that
let's
why
go.
we made this fellowship?
Well,
Don't want to linger. In this
that's why
dark place. Yeah.
we
I-
could.
Oh,
we
I
could,
am fighting the enemy.
we could
It's sick.
ask. Why don't we just ask? Did you? What exactly are you looking for? I can ask some of my Well, we're not friends yet, but we could maybe make friends. I'm gonna look for a bird or a squirrel.
No, it is time. All right. Well, give me a nature check. Let's
Sure.
see what exists.
What's my nature? Okay, that's not the right die. Die is die singular for dice.
Die is
Dice is the
singular.
plural, right?
Yeah.
Oh boy, I got a
Million.
nice round 5.
5.
Yep.
Kiana, you are very much aware that this place like sucks for food, dude. Like there is not shit around here. What is going on? And it's not quiet either. The forest definitely has some things going on and it's not good. As you're looking around, Ren, you also definitely have the knowledge, and I would say Gilly probably does as well, that the mountains are the thing that divides 2 great elven kingdoms. And the Rivendell and the forest is one, and what used to be called the Greenwood, now being referred to as the Mirkwood by kind of local huntsmen and things, is another. And another ring bearer protects these lands. The fact that there is no sign of elven patrols is worrying. The
Not a
fact
good
that
sign.
there is no peaceful wildlife, there is definitely signs of kind of wild boar, the ones that are not like the pigs in Bree, that are here, and they are extra vicious. You hear the squeals kind of off through the forest. There are thick fogs that just rampage their way in and across your path as you're traveling. Fell whispers on the air constantly. This, as you're starting to move into the Mirkwood, you understand now why this name is changing. That the ground itself, the nature itself, feels changed by whatever dark force is happening here.
So we should spend as little time here as possible then. Really.
I suppose. Yeah, this isn't bode very well. So I can't find any wildlife then.
Give me you probably, it's going to be hard to find wildlife. But give me an explore check because you are the scout. So maybe
I
even
am?
though you can't.
No, I'm the scout.
I thought I was the
I'm
lookout.
sorry. You're the lookout. Gilly, please give me an explore check.
I'm gonna find you a bird.
Please find me a bird or a squirrel or anything.
And it can't be a boar because
No,
that
well,
would be quite fun.
I could convince a boar, maybe.
All right, we'll see
You
what
don't
we
wanna
have.
talk to the boars.
You know, okay, no boars, no boars.
Well, maybe we'll find my boyfriend from.
I'm sorry?
From a different life. That was Katie. I just want to see Legolas.
One of the things that like is in Kiana's like achievement list is not being met yet is she's thrown wolves. She's never thrown a boar yet. So she's
Oh.
like,
It's on my
this
bucket.
this
It's on
could go
Kiana's
our
bucket
way.
list. It's on her bucket
I
list.
feel like Ren might feel bad about that, but maybe I'm reading Ren wrong.
Yeah, no, I would feel bad about that. Let me
But
just
you wouldn't say
turn
anything, would you?
away.
Yeah.
I would only
I'm trying to
I would
see.
only do it if it was a situation in which the boar was being aggressive, because then
Yes.
Kiana would have to be aggressive back.
You would check it respectfully.
That's
is what you're
all
I
saying.
would-
situations with the boar.
Ooh, okay.
Right.
I adore the idea that Kiana uses things like heart, center, but then says a full sentence like, I would only throw this boar if the situation was really dire enough that Kiana felt like this was, because she always refers to herself in third person, that Kiana felt like we were in danger enough for this to happen. Like, I just love
We
the
love
I
juxtaposition.
have my
variety.
moments.
It's
Yeah.
my head
Kiana
canon.
has her moments
Just like
of
certain moments of
lucidity.
lucidity. I rolled a 16 plus 3. So
19.
that's the number.
Conveniently, a 16 is the roll for shortcut, which
Oh!
is fantastic. Good for you.
Through like a rabbit's den or
you-
something.
You reduce the length of the journey.
Oh.
So fantastic.
Do I find her a bird?
You do as you are looking around. You not only find it's maybe the start of seeing wildlife
Mhm.
before you realize, I think, and tell me if this rings true for you, that Gilly realizes it's not necessarily that she's found wildlife, but she has found kind of the path to where, closer to the heart of the forest, the darkness hasn't pervaded this area yet, and you have forded your way and the way of your party through to a safer realm where there is a much, this place looks like a Disney princess lives here, because all of the animals have kind of come into this much smaller area, whereas the Greenwood should be quite large. They're all coming together in a much smaller area because this is where the darkness is not.
I'm just imagining Gilly in their like black leathers and, you know, the like makeup that's like, now it's just like, they're like, oh shit, I got these charcoal from the fire or something. It's just like smeared on their face to make sure their eyes are dark and gothic, and just coming back like covered in birds, being like, well, I found birds. I found, you know, a very picturesque glade.
Excellent.
Please get these birds off me. Oh, thank you. Get off.
And they
Just
do.
to a
They
bird.
Yep.
fly over and
Very friendly.
arrange themselves decoratively, as almost supernaturally, like color gradient style.
Yeah.
Ren has a little bit of just full on pride theming going on.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, absolutely.
Hello. It's nice to meet you. You can call me Ren. That is my entire name, and you don't have to worry about the rest of it. I had a question for you. Can you answer them?
Yep.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much. You're so helpful. Gustax, what am I asking them? Who are you looking for?
An ant named Olive.
Okay.
Uh,
Are you asking if they still live here?
Olive still lives here. Just, if they're okay. How have they been?
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Do you know an ant named Olive? And do they are they okay?
They chirp back and forth a little bit, seeming to try and figure out, you know, even though you can speak to them, there is still a little bit of like translation that they're trying to
course.
parse. But yes, the response comes back that in fact they very much do know Olive. She's an older of the Entwives and very highly respected. And she hasn't been seen recently, but that's not totally unusual. It's nothing to be alarmed over. Several of them chirp in at that point. No alarm. It's fine. It's fine.
No alarm? Okay.
that part of her path is that she wanders and supports lots of places. She's a little bit more nomadic than some of the other Entwives. And so it's not unusual that they haven't seen her. They don't seem to be alarmed, and they're hoping that they cross her path soon because she's always lovely and has treats for them.
Excellent. Yes, thank
I
you
have a
so much.
really important question.
Yes.
So is Ren just standing there like talking like a Disney princess?
Absolutely.
Or is Ren like
It's a little bit of both.
okay? Cool.
Every once in a while she'll say something in common, like, I guess restaurant would it be? Where she'll be like, oh, that's interesting, and then she'll go back to chirping.
Cool.
Yeah, if they could let her know that I came through, I got things to do and I can't stay long, and I wanted to say
Oh boy.
I wanted to say
Did it need to read for everybody?
I'm assuming that word was
no.
hi.
no, that was just the Entish version of the word they're trying to say. It's gonna take a long time.
It just takes a minute.
Yeah.
And we will hear there she is. Look at that.
ooh, hello,
Shay.
hi.
Shay's
Gus
back.
Duck says
Finish the
hi,
word. Yeah.
and sorry I missed you. Got some fighting evil stuff to do, but
Oh boy. Okay.
if they can just say that Guzdox was here and says hello.
Absolutely. And so I will translate that TM. And I will say, thank you so much for your. Oh, I had one more question. Is that all right?
Yeah,
Okay,
they seem to chirp in agreement.
They're very sweet. Excellent. So I can't help but notice that this forest has gotten quite dark. Is everything all right?
For the first time, they get very quiet. And all of you, whether or not you can speak to animals, understand that the subject has changed. There is definitely a level of fear in their response. They are missing their creatures displaced. They are missing their homes and the relative safety of the forest, which should be kind of a vibrant and thriving ecosystem, is being disturbed in dark ways. And they are not keen on it. And there is definitely a sorrow of just lands lost and stories not told and songs not sung.
Oh, that's awful, you poor dears. Oh, well, I hope that everything gets better. And if you ever need anything, just let me, Ren, know, okay? All right, you can go now.
They all fly away. The two stay just a second longer.
Mhm.
One, a little sparrow, kind of the runt of the sparrow litter, flies off and then comes back, but doesn't come back to you, Ren. Lands on Guzdox and brings with it a little trimming of a medicinal herb that you maybe you for sure have a word for it. You understand that it's medicine. This is a king's foil, but it brings you back a special little just a little branch of it. It's just a little bird. I can't carry very much, but it wanted to bring you this gift. If you are a friend of all of you are welcome here, and they trust you. And so it flies away. The one that stays with Rin is a Rin, and it's quite young. It's still got those very like puffy feathers. It's probably just in like its first kind of first days of flight.
It's
And it
Ren.
kind of hops right up close to you, and it says,
Hi.
we're both Ren? We're Ren together?
Yes, we're Ren together.
We're Ren
Hello.
together.
And
I
they're
don't
both
have-
babies.
I don't have any sisters. I'm
Oh!
very glad that we're Wrens together.
Oh.
You're my Wren. I'm your Wren.
You're my Wren. Thank you so much. You're so
And
cute.
it just kind of nuzzles you and then flies away, and you see it land back in this space where Gilly came from. There is a clear glade that you can all see, and now as you see it kind of fly in and land on a branch amongst other kind of younger birds, and they are chirping excitedly to each other, that one came up and had like the courage to come and talk to you all by itself, and it's like now got like this little place of honor amongst the other little
Yeah! I got you, Wren.
and
I feel like Gilly's just having a like moment at her friend, like just it's you're just so small and cute. I feel like it's just like, I found you this glade and you got to have your Disney princess moment, and I hated it, but I think that you just are so adorable.
I just kind of pat your shoulder, like, yes, I know you hate that, but I liked it.
I love it for you. just
And I hate it for you.
Best
And-
friends.
Best friends.
As you all move into the glade, the air is so much fresher here. A cool spring kind of babbles playfully. I really want to paint what a difference this is from what you have been traveling. Rivendell is a wonderful forest and vibrant. The greenwood is long fabled amongst all creature of Middle Earth for being a place of supernatural beauty, right? This is Katie, this is Banff and Jasper. This isn't just like the Kootenays. This is really special. You know what I'm saying? We have a ton of like BC people in the chat tonight, so I really want to
this is like,
okay,
this
I
is
see.
beautiful. I was like, why are you talking to me
I
specifically?
heard Banff and was like, badass motherfucker? What?
No, BANFF.
Yeah,
Banff
okay,
and Jasper,
okay.
which are like Glacier National Park, kind of like the Rockies, and like the blue water that flows there, and what a gorgeous like piece. This place is special, even amongst the forests. There are many forests in Middle Earth. This place is special, and now you are starting to see why this place is special, what this all should look like, and this very tangible sense of loss hits you, that so much has been lost that doesn't look like this. If the whole place is supposed to look like this, how much you've been venturing hours and hours that isn't like this anymore.
I think like
but the source, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, personally, I think like Gilly likes the Everglades or something, but like can understand that this is beautiful for most people, and that it sucks that it's not always there.
Fair enough. As you all are looking, the source of this spring that babbles through this area is quite easily followed, especially now that you're not being seeped in the shadow of the murk behind you. There is a tall, thin poplar tree, snow white bark, but gentle patches of ashy kind of charcoal decorating its trunk. Pin, you clock this tree. This is the tree from your dream, from your nightmare. This is the tree that Guzdak sat under the shade of at the edge of the platform. This tree has bright orange leaves that dazzle as streams of light pour through the canopy above. And the spring itself seems to be coming up from between the roots, the soft forest soil kind of giving way to this water that comes out. This is the source. Some might say this is the heart.
Um, I'm a turn to Kiana because it seems like Kiana knows about uh, this mother and more than anybody. Uh, and I'll just follow your lead.
Kiana will look at you and acknowledge like kind of what you're trying to say. So she'll kind of like thump her chest like and then walk towards the tree. Um I don't know if my people know of some sort of ritual or something I'm supposed to do to the tree, but I'll do it if I have to.
Would Kiana have been paying attention during those lessons for what the ritual was?
I feel like my dad would have known and he probably would have told me, but like legit was not paying attention. So I will probably like go up to the tree, dramatically fall to my knees and be like, spread my arms and be like, Mother, speak to me your wisdom. And then
Okay.
see what happens.
Give
Just
me
like-
give me a whew, there's so many options here. I want to say I'm curious for both a nature check, but also like a persuasion, you know, like a
I can do
charisma check
persuasion
of some
if you
kind.
want me to. I can do persuasion. I mean, I'm
Sure.
asking a magical being to tell me something, to give
Sure.
me some information. So I can roll persuasion.
This mental image is very funny to me.
It's gonna be even funnier because like I'm just like like I've closed my eyes to like concentrate, but then I'm like peeking, like is anything happening? Like,
Please tell me we're all lined up in the back. Like, what is she doing?
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. That
I feel like Gilly would be super on board with this. This seems like much more her jam. I feel like Gilly's in the background, like trying to like use magic to like make leaves like blow around her or something. And like, I think this is like, fuck yeah, let's talk to some spirits. Let's go.
So that is going to be another 19.
A 19. And Guzdax, I mean, you know the Entwives. This, you know, is a little bit of like a we don't bow in Wakanda situation. Like this is, you know, a little bit ostentatious for
For sure.
the way that
There
things
is
go.
leaves just like around her.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe the mother of the forest is different. I don't know. I trust Kiana.
So it's like a whole lot of nothing happening here,
Um,
or
Entwives take a lot of time. Like,
right. Okay.
Let's pull
And-
like a weird shell instrument and go like.
As-
This is going on.
as the time goes on where nothing's happening, Kiana will be like offering? Do I have to give it an offering? And we'll take out like a sticky bun, probably the last sticky bun, so that you know the sacrifice is real, and put it in front of the tree on the floor.
You put it it is the stickiest of buns at this point. And you place it onto the forest soil. And as you're kind of bending over to do that, it is when you hear a slow voice in the common tongue. Allow me to introduce myself. And then a chuckle that echoes from inside a slightly hollow, you know, tree. She says, "It only makes sense in your language, little one." And she pokes Kiana with a branch. She when when her branch comes around to kind of nudge you, it's, you know, like somebody being like, get it. But she's a tree and you get knocked on your ass for sure. Not many things can do that to Kiana, but Kiana goes flying a little bit. She's still, yeah, she's still chuckling at her own joke. She says, I am the heart of the forest, the oracle, the keeper of springs, and my name is too long for you. She nods to Guzdax, though. There is an understanding that she knows who you are and that you are known to her. There is an understanding here. And she says, but I may be called Nenar Unduil. And she very specifically uses her elven, whether it's a name or a title, you're not totally sure. What request do you have of me? And her attention goes back to Kiana because there is this respect, there is this protocol between the heart of the forest, the oracle, and Kiana's people that they can bring requests to her, and she will do what she can. So she looks to Kiana and says, what requests do you have of me?
Kiana will immediately turn around and look at Pen, like what were the questions?
Pen has had her hand on her sword, knowing this, like, having seen this image before, but now that we have the name and that she's open to us, she'll take her sword and kind of put it into the ground and kneel and say, like, we beseech your help. We've come to you requesting your knowledge and wisdom, and my friends of the forest have led us here kindly, that we find the lair of the Hope Leecher to stop a great evil that I have dreamed.
In the system that we're using, there is an adventuring, not an adventuring phase, there is a phase of play called a council. And there are very specific rules that govern how these happen. And so I am to determine whether this is a reasonable request, a bold request, or an outrageous request. I would say, given that she knows Kiana's people, and she is aware of who Guzdax is, that you are not unknowns to her, but you're asking about the Hope Leecher. And that you're asking for some big information. Now, you did share that there is this dream. Would you share more about what that is as she inquires, like, for what purpose do you need this information? And tell me more, little one. I do not know you in particular.
I had a dream of the crown of my lineage being found in this lair, and a great death fell upon the lands of Gondor. My friends were there. I saw this tree offering shade to my friends, and I've come to you not knowing that it would be you that we would find, but I seek to save my family and lineage from the great shame of long ago.
All right. Make me a persuasion check.
Ooh. 14.
And you do have inspiration because you haven't used it yet.
Is that a D10?
I'm not saying that you needed it. I'm just saying, like, remember that you have it.
Okay, that would be 18. I can math.
18. Mathing.
Yeah.
We love math.
I'm not a math gay.
No, we do
I'm
not
sorry.
love math.
I love math. I am a
okay.
math gay.
You speak for yourself, okay? Don't even put that
Your experiences
stink
are
on
not
me.
universal.
Let's be inclusive at this table. Yeah.
This Intwife I mean, they run on their own time, friends. They are not in a hurry to, make themselves available at the even short lives comparably of the elves. And she thinks about it. You can hear kind of a thrumming, the sounds of the leaves as she is almost like mindlessly, it's almost like a stem, like it would be like me twirling my hair. Her leaves, her vibrant orange leaves, kind of shake and rustle.
Just kneeling here in armor, super comfortable this whole time. Take your time.
Get distracted by butterflies.
You are asking for information that is from a particularly painful thing, and particularly that you come knowing that there is an ill portent, a potentially like future vision that you have had, that she is doing what she can to stem the growing shade encroaching on the territory of her people and of the creatures that they protect. She weighs all this, and there is her leaves kind of part a little bit, and some more sun streams in, and you all take this as a positive sign of favor, that as she has thought about it, she has decided to share something. The problem is that the language with which she can share the most information would take potentially weeks to do so. And so instead, what she can do is supply words that she has already heard in the common tongue, or in a common tongue, which in this case is Elvish. And Rin, you clock it right away. Gilly, you also recognize this, but not because it's a song that you remember hearing from your childhood, but because it's a song that was just sung as you were in Bree. She starts to fill in the missing verses that were either lost to time or in the moment that Rin could not remember. And she says, I will not sing it. I will not force you all to do that. But we're going to get Jazz to actually like record this at some point, because
boy.
it's so
Sure.
beautiful. She recites, though, the full 5 verses of this poem, which is: in days long past, when realms were bold, there reigned a king, Anithius named. His halls were grand, his crown of gold, his people's love forever proclaimed. But shadows crept and darkness grew, a lurking evil yet unseen. Whispered secrets, twisted untrue, corrupting hearts, turning them mean. You've heard this. All of you have heard this piece. This is the verse that she adds. Hope leecher, a spirit of malice and spite, supplanting hope day and night, beguiling kings with wicked deceit, corrupting hearts, sowing discord and defeat. Whispers of power and untold might lured Anithius into the abyss. His heart corrupted, his vision blight, the once noble king now amiss. Anithius, once wise, now gathered in snare, nearly a puppet lost in Hope Leecher's lair. His soul scarred with shadows, but duty remained, one last noble deed for crown and for heir. And so it is that piece of Hope Leecher, a spirit of malice and spite, supplanting hope day and night, beguiling kings with wicked deceit, corrupting hearts, sowing discord and defeat, that is the new information here. She does know more, and she begins to share with you all that the lair of the Hope Leecher is accessible. It's not far. You don't know what her definition of not far is, to be fair, but she says that it's not far, that it is on the banks of the Glanduine near Swanfleet, and she tells you that her cousin lives there and will take you to the guarded, and she uses this word in the common tongue, Kiana, the entrance. And she chuckles again. Mellow, my cousin's name, Mellow. It's a elvish word, Mellow. Mellow of the marshes, the stumpy old thing, strong and true. You'll like him. Until then, until you are ready to go, take your break with us. You'll be safe here tonight, and your poor horses need a break. And you can see that they are thirstily kind of lapping from the cool spring that bubbles there. And she is not only here to look out for you, she looks out for all creatures of her realm. Not that you have all been like abusing the horses, but you know, you're all on equal footing to her. The Ent turns slowly, beckoning you all to come around her, and a sudden path kind of opens from the bushes beside her. There are many low groaning noises, almost ominous at first, not for Guzdax. Guzdax immediately understands that you are all wandering into a gathering of the Entwives. The weight of tree limbs creak as the most wondrous sight appears in front of you. Young tree saplings, slowly waving their branches, entwining them with each other to try and capture the orioles and thrush and the wren that swoop low and dance between the branches. There is a round of larger trees surrounding this second hidden glade. They appear to be conversing with each other, occasionally a limb kind of reaching out and snapping some of the sapling branches to free a bird who's no longer enjoying the game of, I swear this is the last pun for tonight, the infants. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I worked so hard on those. You find yourself in a nursery of the Entwives and their seedlings.
Guzdox is, yeah, Guzdox. I don't think Guzdox has ever seen kids before. These kids are cute as hell, and is definitely all goo goo gaga. Is very much like just dives right into this thing, like introduces herself and like if she's welcome to like go into the nursery. She'll play with the kiddos. Oh my god.
Yeah, they're eager for this company and gladly will, you know, play with any of you that want to give them attention.
I will give them attention.
Is this like the most comfortable and like at home we've seen Guzdax since we've met them? Then is this like kind of like more at ease? Yeah. Mask off, tits
like,
out.
Yeah, like mask off. Definitely, like you would see her like take down the hood of the cloak. Really, just like it's still like it was described that sunlight was coming in, and like Guzdox doesn't like sunlight, but like is able to like find some branches of shade. This is a forest, and yeah, is definitely a lot better than Bree. Like whenever we leave Bree, like Guzdox feels a lot more comfortable. But then like here is like home, and this is even a part of home that is so much better than she thought what home was. It's a good day. Guzdox is having a good day.
Yes. Kiana is definitely playing with the saplings. She's probably the one who's like, she's like the dad of the group who's like carrying all the kids want them to like pick them up and do the woo woo the little like airplane thing like woo like 1,000 times,
And
and like
babies.
Yana is more than happy to oblige.
Yeah, I will be I'll be playing with the saplings as well. I will be pretending to rescue the birds. So that'll be my version of the game. Like, oh no, you poor dears, and I'm gonna like, oh, I'll save you. I will be climbing them too if they allow me to. I should mention Heroine is barefoot. She doesn't wear shoes. I don't know if I mentioned that.
That's
Same,
silly.
bestie.
Yeah.
Let's go.
None of these bitches wear shoes.
I wear shoes, but that's fine. I don't think that, because I don't like getting rocks in my feet. But I don't think Gilly's like as I think she thinks is really cool, and like the sort of like circle of life here, and like I just like the idea of Ents having babies and how that happens must be a wild tale. And is maybe more interested in that, but like is less like I think goo goo gaga about the babies. I think that she's more like this is a wicked cool story. And so she's just sort of like wandering around and like listening to the way that the wind kind of like blows through the trees and how that sounds almost like music, and then trying to like replicate it on like her like wooden pipe, and like just trying to like tap into what the magic feels like here, because that's sort of her thing. So I think she's more like,
give me an Arcana check.
Okay.
Yeah, fun fact
Do we have Arcana on? I don't think we have Arcana on this.
Give me
Is there a magic check?
There's like
old lore.
Yeah, sure. Give me an old lore check.
That's good, because I'm expertise in that.
Hey.
Oh, that's a 16. Plus I have an 11, so that is 27 from my old
That's
lore.
disgusting.
You're disgusting.
I'm actually very not.
You were very cute.
Is every day for Gilly like the dude in the Sixth Sense? Spoilers, like if you haven't seen it, bestie, I don't know what to tell you by now. Is it just constantly like Gilly is always aware that there are spirits around?
I think so. I think like it's got to be one of those things, like if she does what she does in her dreams or her like whatever state, I don't think that's like a normal elf thing. And whether she knows that or not is sort of, haven't decided yet.
I would have told you that's not normal.
I'm not sure I would have told you that it happens though. Like if she thinks that it's like something that like that's what the elves do, you know. But then maybe kind of figured out from like other people talking that maybe not. But like I think it's more like, you know, like in like Princess Mononoke, when they're like walking through the forest and they can see the little like tree spirits and stuff. I feel like that's kind of it's a bit like that, where it's like there's always like something at the corner of her eye, in her third eye and brain, I guess. I think
it strikes you as you watch the others playing with the little tree ents that all of a sudden it's so quiet. Those, not even the spirits who aren't the nicest, you've never felt threatened or harmed, for sure. And you've always felt a certain sense of duty and purpose, and just the absence of spirits now in this place.
Weird.
It is weird, and
almost
it is
uncomfortable,
very
probably.
Sorry, say that again.
I said it's probably almost uncomfortable.
I would
like
say
there's something wrong with this place because there's no spirits here. Yeah,
there is, and I would say almost puts Gilly on edge. There's a little bit of suspicion, maybe, particularly if Gilly doesn't know that this isn't something that most others can do. It is definitely putting you on edge. Your hand sneaks its way back into that darn rune bag, and
I'm gonna pick a different one this time. Do I?
You can pull out two, sure.
Okay. So I assume the other one's the same. Okay, what did I get? This is just a rock. I forget what this one is. Journey. Interesting. So it's travel, both in physical terms and those of like lifestyle direction, and like seeing the right path ahead of you and deciding to take it.
And you have this moment of clarity of like, this discomfort is not something. I think that there definitely have been times in Gilly's life where she's been like not bothered by the fact that she is slightly different than the other
No.
elves that she knows, but there is kind of an understanding that, you know, sometimes things would be easier if you could just fit in. You know, it's not a judgmental view of self.
Oh, it's just like, you know, being constantly on like the outer edge of things is a bit exhausting. Yeah.
And I think there is this moment now where, faced with this knowledge of like what that would actually mean, that you would not be able to have the spirits, would make you more like, perhaps, I think in this moment, Gilly is faced with this decision of like, is that really something I want? Like, would I be willing to give up that for that? You know, like Gilly has this bit of existential thinking around
this other rune is taking a toll then, because that is not Gilly's jam at all. Like this other rune is fucking with her.
It is so it is kind of, you know, odd, and that very sweet voice comes back into your ear of just, you are valuable and what you do is so important to so many, and you should not ever give that up. You are a singular being in this land of otherwise ordinary mediocrity. You are special. And even if others can't see it, you know that I know that you're special, and that
you're gonna make me cry in real life, Sarah. Don't validate me, I'll cry.
And make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, okay.
Because first off, I do think that that's true for you, Katie, but also the voice that's saying this is.
Sure, I rolled a 3.
Oh boy. Do you have your inspiration?
I do, but I don't know if it's like, should we be using them on saves? Is that interesting narratively? Is it more interesting that I don't?
I mean,
I didn't last
I will
time.
say, even with inspiration, this voice has been almost constantly in your ear.
Yeah.
And I think there is this kind of sense of, particularly now, where you're in this place where the spirits are not, and where you're feeling already on edge, and where everybody else is having this magical moment that normally you'd be like quite proud it's not for you, but you're happy that they're getting that experience.
Immersion, baby.
Kind of everything coming together, and the oppressiveness of the forest and how much it's changed, and everything. There's a lot going on for Gilly. And I think for Gilly in this moment, there is kind of this like almost surrender of like, yeah, no, I am special. And that's okay to admit. And thank you for acknowledging that. And there is kind of just this lowering of a guard around what this voice means, and kind of this acceptance that in the future, this voice will continue to be a support to you, even when that support feels missing in other places. And from now on, when this voice speaks, you'll roll your wisdom saves with disadvantage.
Okay. Yeah, I think like considering the events of the day and everything, that makes a lot of sense too. That like this pettiness has sort of crept in and has felt like she hasn't been useful in the group and the fellowship and stuff. So I think I love it. Love your storytelling. I'm gonna go cry now.
You don't have much time to dwell, because there is a flash of color that runs through the glade. Nobody else seems to notice it. It is a very particular color. It is Pin's color. that runs through the glade. And you take a second to kind of focus in, and you see it's not a spirit that has passed, but it is also not a spirit that hasn't. It is so odd. You see it searching for something. Clearly it is looking for something, and it almost makes it to Pen and then kind of drops to its knees. This is an older woman, strikingly beautiful, and she is graceful and elegant. And as she falls to her knees, you see the second spirit that has been there on the ground near where Pen stands, both in Pen's colors. And you see this older woman gather up the spirit that is laying there and just is kind of, tears are running down her face, but also she has some kind of purpose to whatever it is that she's saying, and you can't make it out. But there is something happening here. Is this something that you would be intently focused on trying to figure out what's going on?
Me or Pen?
Sorry, you.
Oh,
Pen doesn't see this. Nobody else is reacting to this.
Oh,
you
yeah.
are the only person who sees this.
Yeah, I'm just like, I wonder why none of my friends. Oh no. And if I notice that it's Pen's colors too, I would probably like whistle or something and try to get her attention.
You do, and the rest of you hear Gilly whistle, and she is looking slightly off Pen. She's not looking at you, but she's looking very close in your direction. And as you go to like put your focus on that, Gilly, that sweet voice is maybe not a little bit sweet in this moment. And it says, this is a trick. They are blocking you from everything else, and you cannot trust what you're seeing here.
Oh yeah, gotta have those compliment sandwiches, right? But the opposite way. Okay.
You mean an insult?
Right, shut up. Backhand, you gotta validate, and then you gotta just make them feel terrible. If I look up at Pen, does she see what I'm looking at? Is there like any recognition on her face?
And give me a perception check.
17.
A 17, as Pen kind of is trying to look and like looks at you, matches where your gaze is. You notice that Pen's profile is strikingly similar to this woman that's got the other spirit in her arms. And there's a very clear connection that the older woman has to be related to Pen.
Right. Okay. This voice that I'm hearing in my head, I'm gonna try to talk back to it and just say, who is it that's trying to trick me?
You can't trust the way of the old nature. It is always trying to interfere with the will of the free peoples of Middle Earth. This is not a good place and not safe for you. If they trusted you, if they valued you, they would allow you full access to what you do.
I feel like Gilly just doesn't fully understand. That was a lot of information about something she doesn't really get, that Pen can't really see. But Pen, do you see anything right over here?
I see the ant babies and some grass.
I will look over to the name I can't remember because it was in Elvish, the ant wife we were talking to.
Ninar Unduil.
Yes, and I will say, can you see this?
She slowly waves her branches around. Child, there's just forest there.
Are you okay, Gilly? What's wrong?
I thought I saw something. I'm not sure I understand. Pen, I think maybe it's a trick, but maybe your family's in more trouble than we thought. I don't know. Someone who looks like you seems to be in trouble, I think, but maybe not. I don't know.
Well, yes, my sister. We're trying to
Right,
intercept her.
right. I just mean like it might be nothing, but I have a bad feeling.
What did you see? What might be a
Um,
trick?
Are you still seeing it?
am I still saying it?
You are. And as you kind of focus in, I would like you to give me a wisdom saving throw at disadvantage.
Son of a nutcracker. 16 total.
In order for you to kind of push through the voice that has been trusted, and you are still feeling on edge, and now nobody can see this, and this whole thing is weird, and you
And it
don't
was
like
empty
feeling this
before,
way.
and now there's something scary.
Listen, and you don't know who to trust in this moment, and Pin's family could be in danger, and nobody has ever respected that you can do this, and now they're saying that they can't even see these things, and you're in a high stress situation. If you try to push through with your flirting with the illicitness of the magic that you use, that you channel in this, it will come at a cost. You can look harder, you can push through, you can ignore the voice, you can focus in. It will come with a shadow point.
Is the idea that like if I look closer at this, I can tell if it's actually a real spirit or something that I'm seeing, or if it's some sort of illusion, or like is that
Yeah,
the
in order
goal?
to kind of get past there definitely is this, like, for me to you as a player, like above the table, there is this understanding of like the mechanic that in the int glade, there is almost a field of magic that is so old and so kind of primal that it blocks out the somewhat illicit use that you use to channel with spirits. It's not necessarily that you're doing anything bad, but
But it's all
also
like shadow magic-ish type stuff is
it
not allowed.
is.
Yeah.
It can be, yeah. And because you know, would do good with it doesn't mean that bad can't be done through you once you open that door. And so the int glade kind of has a natural barrier against it, makes it very hard to do. So you can push through and you can force that door open. Or you can have Gilly force that door open, but it comes at the cost of a shadow point that you are going to make that Gilly would be making a conscious decision to step into kind of the shadow magic a little bit further than she has been before to try and figure out what this spirit is happening.
So I guess my issue is that like, so did I pass or fail my wisdom check?
It's a little bit of both. The voice can't stop you.
Yeah, but if I trusted them recently and just had a moment with them, like normal Gilly would be like, fuck it, let's see what happens. But if she's like being warned not to and no one else can see it and knows about this old magic stuff, like I feel like the interesting choice that Katie wants to do is to push through it and take the shadow point. But I feel like at this point she might just be like, I mean, we're already on our way there. I don't know what we could do anyways. Did you have your hand up, Bren?
Yeah, I wasn't entirely sure if this has like a mechanical benefit, but I would have come over to you and tried to comfort you when it seems like you're in distress. So we are friends. I don't know how much of your type of magic that Ren understands or even knows about. I don't know how much you would have shared with her, but she would have been able to tell that you were in distress. If there
Yeah.
was anything that she could do, she could just lay a hand on your arm to try to comfort you.
Definitely, as you feel the warmth and the physical touch, not the spirit, not the ephemeral, the actual connection to another living being who you trust and who you care very deeply for,
Mm.
it does allow you to kind of pull back a bit. And I will say, like, from a mechanical standpoint, absolutely, it will give Gilly that control to not just make this super impulsive decision that I think Gilly, although she's not as young as Ren, definitely kind of rushes headlong into
yeah.
stuff, because it's never really been running out.
The only thing holding her back is just that one very, very nice moment where Sarah made me cry. I think that the minute that Ren comes over and just sort of like, even just touches her arm, she'll be like, what am I doing? Like, this is, that's, fuck it. What the hell is this? I want to know. I'm more curious than I am cautious. Let's go. And I'm gonna do something. I don't know what.
Are you gonna push through and try and see what's there?
Yeah, I'll just be like, everyone give me a moment.
And with this kind of bolstering of physical connection, this kind of tether to the physical world, you push that door ajar. That door, maybe not to you, but the camera, the audience might see that pushing that door open means that there is now space for you and something else to be there, and to use that connection and that space. But as you do look through, you see that on the younger woman, the one being cradled, there is a dark crown wrapped around her head.
Oh, shit.
It digs into her, tendrils of dark, kind of swirly, almost ink, except for it floats in the air, reaching out and gripping down her body, cutting into her and almost cutting off almost her breath, and in a way that is not unnatural to you, because you often see these spirits and their soul being not just like their physical presence. This is leaching itself into her. This is such a good way to describe it, that it is leaching into this younger creature, the younger woman that's being cradled by the older woman.
Do I feel like this door is an actual door?
I don't know that you would describe it as a door, but I think there is some kind of understanding that there is, whether it's a veil or a portal or like the mist between places. I think there.
I meant like a door.
Yeah. I do think you do. That's autistic, me being literal. I think you do have an understanding that there is a wider breach that allows for more information to flow. You've gone from like dial up to broadband,
Okay. Do I feel like I could pass through this light or pass someone through it?
I mean, you've never tried that. That is a different layer of darkness.
Okay. All right. Never mind. We're not gonna. I was like, I don't know, Pen, go for it. Okay. Now that I've opened this door, does anyone else see anything?
You look around. Nope. Everybody's eyes are trained on you. You are being weird in this moment. You are being, and the saplings have started to be kind of gathered behind the entwives as they feel a difference in the space that is happening here.
Okay. Pen, maybe, okay, just come closer, and I'll grab Pen's hand and like bring her closer to the sort of like parting of the veil there, and just like pretend you're looking at a magic picture and you're uncrossing your eyes or something. I don't know. Just try to. I don't know. Can you do any magic? I feel like not. Okay, just stand here and think of your family and see if you can see anything at all.
Pen, as you get close to Gilly, her eyes have this almost super vague, like beginning stages of cataract, like just this very, very white film over them.
Oh boy.
Guzdox knows magic. What does Guzdox make of all of
It's
that?
not good, bestie. This is some shadow bullshit, and you for sure recognize the this is giving Palantir. This is giving Lost Scene Stones. This is giving, we are not meant to pierce some of the veils, and welcoming this into like this sacred and hallowed ground in particular, I think Guzdax might feel some kind of way about.
Cool. I think Guzdax is going to like cut a look to Harrow, because this is weird. And
Okay.
Guzdox doesn't understand, but like Harrow seems to understand. Y'all got like an elf thing going. So like, can you?
Sure. I'll just kind of run my. We can't see what Gilly's seeing, right? Not at all. Okay. Not even when Pen tries standing from. Okay, cool. Well, I'll run my hand down their arm and just kind of grip her hand. Gilly, just why don't we discuss this later? I think that your eyes are you're scaring me.
Okay.
But
Gilly's going.
Sorry.
Oh no, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, if it's my family, you have to tell me. I'm thinking of them. I know they're in danger. What else? I've seen visions.
Does this DM? Does this feel like a vision of the future? Does this feel like an alternate reality? Does this feel like
I don't think Gilly has ever had visions of the future.
no?
Everything that Gilly sees is like what is happening.
Oh,
Gilly deals with things in real time.
Okay. Then with that knowledge, she's just going to like with Ren looking concerned at her, I think she's gonna realize she's gone like full goth and has scared and like kind of will look around and just like notice like the tiny ants backing away from her and be like, oh son of a all right. Sorry, that was intense. It's fine. Pen. I don't know if you can get there faster. I think something's gone wrong. I think we're going to be too late.
Too late to the lair? Too late to
Well,
my family?
I mean, you saw your sister putting the crown on. No, you saw you. I can't remember. What did you see?
I saw myself being crowned.
Right, but we were trying to get to your sister before she could put the crown on, or anyone else could. Yes, because the crown is bad.
Yes, I mean, we've heard the songs and the tales,
Right.
and she's headed to the lair to retrieve it.
I've just seen her put it on, and I don't think it's going well.
Is she at the lair now?
I didn't see much. Okay. We've not really talked much about this. I have a sort of connection to I don't know how to describe it to you. It's I mean, like, spirits is one thing to call it. The essence of a being, especially when they're passing through between realms. That's sort of the place that I can see. I think one of my greatest purposes is to help those spirits get from here to Valinor. And so the fact that I'm seeing some sort of, the only visions that I've ever really seen, I see things all the time, but the only visions that I've ever seen are not of the future. They are of what is happening now. So I saw likely your sister in the arms of someone else that looks like you, an older woman, your mother, perhaps. And she has the crown on, and her energy does not feel dead, but does not feel alive, if that makes any sense. So I think that we're dealing with a time situation that might be happening just now. Anywho,
Ren is like clutching your hand at her side, and she's like glaring pretty much at everybody else, like in a like, and what of it kind of way.
Oh,
like if you mess with my friend, I will fight you.
I think Gilly's like,
reminder, she's like 5'2". She's
I'm much taller than you. I think Gilly, I want to like reiterate, like Gilly's uncomfortable because this is a really weird place for her to be telling you all of this stuff. It's not that she's hidden any of it from you specifically because like she thinks it's bad or whatever. It just like hasn't come up because it's just like, you know, but now everyone's staring at me like I'm a crazy person and the ants are backing away and I'm like feeling uncomfortable on an edge. So it's just kind of like blurting out in a non-charismatic way, which is weird for her. So
No.
Yeah. I know little of magic and the old ways, but I can take arms if need be.
I don't know if like, yes, we may want to find a way to get you there. I don't know if like traveling with us is the fastest thing or if you, maybe the Ents have some sort of plane. I don't know.
Plane.
Well, and Pin,
it's a big empty space. There's no trees. You can gallop right through it.
I think, Pin, something else that really strikes you is that your mother was in this vision, and your mother rarely leaves the city, right? She's a pampered princess, that one, and she's not an outdoor gay. You know what I'm saying? And so she very much likes to be in the city. If she is with your sister, it is not likely that that your mom has gone to the Hope Bleacher's lair. It's that your sister has been brought to her, and maybe where you need to head is to them. Whether or not the rest of your party should follow you there or should instead continue to the lair of the Hope Bleacher to see what's what, I think is even though we're way over time, so I'm kind of moving the camera forward, and I apologize so deeply. I would have loved to have had you guys role play through all of this. I think the Ents definitely also are able to be like, if the Hope Bleacher has been released, first we need to ascertain if the Hope Bleacher has been released, because that brings a great danger to everybody. And their first instinct is somebody needs to go check this out. We are not as fast as you. Could you go check this out? And Pin, I think there's also this very driving force that you need to go see your mom and your sister.
And I don't think any of us would judge you for that either. I think that we'd say go and we'll take care of it and you can meet with us later. Well,
also, I mean, very much like, do you want any of us to go with you?
Well, that too.
Oh, we've made promises to the mother tree, and I wouldn't want to disrespect Kiana and Guzdok's culture and connection. Like, if they're together and they're in the city, then I will have support, and you need to fight the darkness that's at the root of this all, and I will come to you when I can.
Okay. I feel bad having you going around. I feel involved.
How dare you have a vision against your will?
It's never been a bad thing before. Here we are.
It's not a bad thing now. You're letting Pen know that she's needed elsewhere.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay, you should go then.
Yes.
Yeah, Guzdox's eyes have just like not left. Um, yeah, have not left Gilly this entire time. And yeah, well, Guzdox's eye, one of her eyes is like not really visible. And it's being able to see her face like this, it is unnerving, truly. Like having this very big orc just like staring at you with an implacable expression.
I think less that it's a big scary orc staring at me, because I don't think a Gilly would care. It's more that like I can't read your expression. I think it's that more than anything, is that like everyone is staring at me and I don't know what anyone's thinking, and I've just said something kind of crazy and everyone's looking at me like I'm crazy, and I'm like, oh, this is not an experience I'm used to. Usually people are like, oh, Gilly, you silly goose, honk honk, and then you go off on your merry way. But now I'm getting possibly judged, I guess, and so that's
no! You need to understand that tiny little Ren is glowering at you, Guzdox.
Yeah,
very and she's very like challenge, like yeah. There's like stuff, you know, that stare off, and then somebody just kind of slides in between. You need to understand that that's what I'm doing. I'm like,
yeah, and I'm gonna go for a walk. So.
And I think that as there is kind of this tense moment for Ren and for Guzdox, Pin is very much gathering things up and like making sure that the horse is watered, pulling whatever needs pulling, and is hitting the road. In my headcanon, and JJ, please correct me if I'm wrong, Kiana has gathered several of the Ent babies, the seedlings, and is showing them this fucking awesome blue glowing knife that is the coolest thing ever, and has not been paying attention.
No, she knows fuck all about what they're doing over there. I mean, like they're talking about it's tense over there, and she's like, look at this cool dagger, y'all. Like, look at this. You see this quality? This is quality right here. Like, it's shiny. Like, just giving them a whole lesson about daggers and how you stab people with daggers. And they're like, I'm educating the little ones, and I have no idea what's going back over there.
And I think also
don't know what's going on until I see Pen like packing her shit, and I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, are we going? Like,
and I would love at some point in the future to have a moment where you also teach the like scoop and yeet, so that they can also, you know, practice the great skill of wolf throwing. But we are so severely over time, and I want to bring this to a little bit of a close. Let me do so in a way that I think befits the narrative that we pay homage to, which is as the camera starts to fade and pull back from this forested glade, this moment of tension, this moment of brevity and gentleness with Kiana and the seedlings, this moment of inner conflict with Pen as she prepares to depart from the rest of the party. The Ent wives start to sing the two final verses. They sing it in Entish. I don't know how much Guzdox is paying attention, but they are: shadows dwell where light grows weak, and kings easily fall to treachery's guise. But hope endures if the righteous will speak. The realm reborn, a monarch arise. Hope remained a flicker of light, a fellowship of the true and just, to reclaim the throne, to end the night. Companionship must guide the trust. And as our story fades out, there is kind of this call to what might be coming for this fellowship. My players, thank you so much for sitting with me for an extra few minutes. Audience, thank you. Really quickly, let's go around and have everybody say a little bit about themselves and where you can be found, and if you're doing something else, and then we'll wrap this particular episode up. Katie, A+ star. Sorry to make you cry. It was your turn, I guess. This week was not my intention.
I'll cry more later. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Hi, I'm Katie, and I'm fine. And you can find me. I mean, I was on Twitter for like a hot second right near the end there. Guess maybe not anymore. I don't know, but I'm there at Critical Spark 20. I'm also on Instagram. That's where you can find pictures of cool D&D stuff I do. I'm also on Fablemanters. Every Wednesday we are doing Stars Without Numbers right now, where I play a 12-year-old like dweeby little boy who's a hacker and super cool. And that's, I think, all the things right now. Yeah, passing it on to the next person who didn't cry this game.
We'll go over to Jazz.
Oh, hello. Hi, what up? My name's Jazz, also known as Cinder Scoria on the everything except for Instagram. If you see Cinder Scoria on Instagram, it's not me, or it was me, but now it's not. I'm working on it. Anyway, Instagram, Silver Star Soul, SOUL, Silver Star Soul. That's me. I don't really post a lot on there, but I could. If you want to see me sing, that's where I sing. Okay. Let's see. What else am I doing? Pretty much nothing currently besides this stream. But in the summer you can catch me on Queen's Court Games. I don't think I'm allowed to talk about it because it hasn't been announced, but you just kind of keep an eye out and I will be there. I will also be on Other Side of Studios in, I think, the fall. When fall starts, we are going to be doing season 3 of the Arcane Core, where I play Mo Jackson, who is about like a whole foot and a half, no, just a foot taller than Heroine. Yeah, that's it for me.
The human who is tall like an elf. Love it.
Yes.
JJ.
Hello, everyone. I'm JJ. You can find me for right now on Twitter until that implodes. So I'm working on everything else, getting everywhere else. But yeah, you can find me there at JJ_Cray. Let's see. Tomorrow I will be on Tales from the Table Studios and playing at 8 p.m. Eastern. We are playing Crime Solvers Anonymous, where we play adults who were once child detectives, and now we're fresh on a brand new case. So that'll be great. And I think that's it for right now. Next week you can find me here again on Monday, and then you can find me on Saturday over at DMDM Studios, where we are playing our Legacy campaign. And I think that's it for me. So yeah, go check out the homies. Much love to everyone. Thank you for joining us today.
And Anita.
Hey, I'm Anita. On Wednesday at 7 o'clock, I'll be at twitch.tv/Fusca. We're in a dungeon, it's a castle, and it's magic. We're rescuing a dwarf? I don't know. Meet me there. That's me.
And Ark.
Hi, I'm Ark, Arcanian Ending everywhere. I'm here on Mondays doing this, and I'm also here on Fridays playing Misspent Youth. We're a bunch of rowdy teens fighting the authority. It's a great time. We also just had our Pride zine come out, and the 4th zine will be coming out in August, so keep your eyes out for that.
And I got through everybody else. I'm Sarah. I'm your lore mistress. You can find me here at Girls Run These Worlds. And starting on Thursday, bringing back Community Cleric, where it's an hour-long interview show highlighting marginalized gender people in TTRPG. So come and join us. I'm speaking to Kat, the actual lore mistress. Is actually her handle is LoreMistress93, and she always gets confused when I've started getting tagged as Lore Mistress for the show. So we will settle that mano a mano, I guess, in the most lovely way of rolling dice for the title, I suppose. Join us then. We're going to go raid. I think we're going to go raid Heroes and Hooligans, who are streaming a D&D series. And we love Hooli. She's fantastic. Please give them a follow. Thanks, everybody, for being here with us. Thank you to Free League Publishing for sponsoring this stream and providing us with a really unique rule set that we get to experiment this world in. So thanks, everybody, and we will see you all next week.